from South Korea.
And has the double gas going up right now. And his Cybernetics core is extremely delayed because he's doing a normal build. I say delayed, but it's completely standard, whereas the Cybernetics core for iGMacSed is very rushed, very quick.
Right. And, you know, things could work out really well for iGMacSed if he does go, you know, hyper-aggressive out of this 10 gate. He's got the Cyber Core and a Zealot on the way.
You know what? The Sora even delayed his Cybernetics core further to get an extra probe out. He is really behind, and if iGMacSed knew this, he would actually probably be a little more aggressive. One interesting thing to note is neither player has scouted at all, not even for proxies, so they're playing pretty blind here. Yeah,
I mean, with both players keeping everything pretty tight next to the base, it makes cannon rushes kind of less of a concern, but it does happen. Now, we did just see Sora up on the mini-map. You can see him toss a pylon on the right side of the base, so doing a little bit of scouting there, but
he
hiding that. We'll see what he puts down there. I would imagine that's going to be a Stargate.
Yeah, probably so. iGMacSed just chrono boosted his warp gate research twice. I can tell you twice because I'm looking at the production tab right now. It's going really fast. And I think he actually might put on some heavy aggression. Not necessarily 4 gateways, but he's definitely going to add at least 2. Yeah, one is being added. There's the second one. Is he going to add 3 gates? No, just the 3 I talked about.
He may. Does he have the mothership?
A second, there it is. Overcharge is down. The Dark Shrine is so far from finishing.
Well, the big thing is, though, is that Photon Overcharge is going to protect the Dark Shrine long enough that Sora should be able to get a DT out, and I don't think iGMacSed has seen it yet.
No, he has not seen it. I'm fairly certain as well.
Now the thing is there's no probes out on the map for Sora, so it's not like he can sneak a Dark Templar around the outside. He's going to need to use them for defensive purposes, and that's going to give iGMacSed the time to get out of robotics facility. So I don't think iGMacSed is in a lot of trouble, even if he sees that, even if he rather doesn't see the Dark Shrine.
Yeah, it's not like going to be a fatal situation for him, most likely.
There's no backdoor pylon for Sora, so there's no real danger for iGMacSed here. He's going to see the DTs, take some damage.
He's actually going to walk in and fight.
Why not?
He's going to try to kite here. This is actually nuts. He's basically deciding, all right, I can try to do as much as I can with good micro hero on my DTs. The force has started.
Gone, and those DTs doing a lot of damage here. The probes actually trap a Stalker quite nicely, but I don't know.
Just trying to tank the cannon fire to take a few probes out. GG.
There it is. iGMacSed takes game 1, and at the end of the day, it's just iGMacSed coming with that aggression early on. Sora just not quite realizing the danger that he was in until it was a little bit too late.
Honestly, I feel Sora hasn't prepared well enough by studying his opponent for this. If you play against any Korean pro in PvP, nobody does that 10-gate aggression ever anymore. Basically, it's pretty much gone. But you play against iGMacSed, he's Chinese, he's aggressive, and that is the type of thing that you're going to see.
Well, here's the thing, too, is that things may have been a little bit different for Sora if he would have been able to say, get a probe out on the map, just put a pylon near iGMacSed's base and get DTs there quicker. He might have been able to make the game a bit closer there, but, as is, with nothing out on the map, just no way for Sora to win that one. Game 2 is going to be on Belshir Vestige, and we'll see if iGMacSed can get the 2-0, or if Sora's going to be able to come back.
Exactly, that's what we're about to find out here.
Yep.
这个问题其实特别简单，因为每一次这个问题问好之后，就是因为这个答案就在我们自大这个屏幕上面嘛，所以我想说是这个问题我问出来之后啊，这个大家我说1、2、3，大家举手，因为不然的话我也帮举手算出来，然后不要看到我发现，然后叫不到，那就是我们今年这个起家的宣传口号。这个不我看一下，我这个慢下。以前这个上一下说话的都是一样，不要在我看不见是吧？1、2、3，好，就上来说。稍微念一遍是吧 ？OK， 好。
Welcome back to WCG 2013, the grand finals where we have some more StarCraft II action coming at you. I'm Wolf, with me is Doa.
That's right. Here we are in the middle of yet another PvP. MacSed versus Sora. So far, MacSed ahead of game. And you and I were talking to the Marine during the break, one of the on-game.net commentators, formerly a very famous StarCraft I Terran player. And we all kind of were saying the same thing, where Sora maybe wasn't well researched in terms of the way these Chinese players play. Didn't respect the aggression that we all knew were going to come out. Well, Sora knows now.
Exactly, yeah, that's exactly what we all were discussing earlier. We even said on air previously when we were broadcasting, just he probably did not prepare for the China that came into his main base like really fast.
That's right. That's how it is, man. I mean, all those guys, Jim, Jigua.
Yeah, they're all extremely aggressive.
MacSed, yep.
Especially Jim and MacSed are extremely known for it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say they're almost one-trick ponies for it because they're so aggressive. But in a tournament like this,
one trick crushes other Prodosses. That works pretty well.
Exactly. You come to a tournament like this and somebody's not prepared for you, they don't take you seriously, then you actually win games.
Well, games at events like this, these big international events, tend to be sometimes a little bit cheesier, a little bit more aggressive because a big advantage you can have is if you can catch your opponent unawares, you're going to be able to beat them 9 times out of 10 at a tournament like this where people aren't as familiar with each other.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Sora cannot be happy with how that first game went, but in game number 2, he can definitely turn things around. He plays a little bit safer. Belcher Vest is a very similar map to the first one.
love that the loading screen said StarCraft II is played by professional gamers. Watch pro matches for great
to learn new strategies, yeah.
And now Sora and MaxSed know that they can watch pro matches to learn new and exciting strategies.
Absolutely true. Here's Sora. He needs to try some new and exciting strategies after what happened in Game 1.
He needs to try something safe and stable, man. And there's MaxSed, our blue Protoss on the bottom right as well. Yeah, Sora just needs to play it safe. That's the key to this game. He can't get caught unawares, otherwise this is going to be a pretty quick 2-0 series.
And he again got only the GL coming out from MaxSed.
Yeah.
Luck was definitely not on his side in Game 1.
I think he definitely didn't have fun. That's for sure.
Yeah, he didn't get either of those. So
Nope. All right, well, we'll see what MaxSed's got in mind. You know, he went for that 10 gateway in game number 1.
Yeah, this time totally changing it up and going for a more standard gateway opening.
Yeah, this makes sense. I mean, the idea that you'd be able to win with that 2 games in a row is remote, and then you throw in the fact that this is Belshir Vestige. It's a little bit bigger of a map. That type of thing doesn't work quite as well.
Yeah.
No big surprise that we're going to see something a little bit more standard. And yeah, there's the 13 gateways coming from both of our Protoss players here.
Yeah, not even going for the 12s, just greedy gates. And I expect that both players will do double gas here before core. Here's Sora's first, and as soon as you have enough minerals, I think he will start his second. Same is true for MaxSed on the other side of things. There's a second gas for Sora, and MaxSed, will he follow suit? Yes.
All right, so mirrored opening so far for both of our Protoss players, and we've got a pretty decent crowd here, actually. I mean, and we were here at WCG last year, too. The crowd is so much bigger for StarCraft II.
Yeah, it's actually a really, really popular game, and it's really, like you said, bigger this year, and I like that.
People have been, worried about StarCraft II here and there, but it looks like in China it's been doing nothing but growing.
Absolutely,
big differences in the crowd between this year and last year.
And for the crowd to get this match, it's pretty lucky for them to have a Chinese player up on stage against a Korea player. That rivalry that we talked about earlier is still very strong at WCG.
Oh, yeah. Huge esports rivalry. Yep. And StarCraft II, one of the games where the skill levels at, in certain times can be very, very close. Yeah,
absolutely.
League of Legends too. I mean, we've got a great rivalry and some of the teams here in this tournament today for that as well.
Yeah, and outside of this tournament, other games like Dota, for example, you have
Warcraft
Chinese
3,
versus.
I mean,
there's a lot of international rivalries, and in StarCraft, I feel that's the game that has the least right now because Koreans have kind of figured out and dominated. But in this tournament, in this case, things get really close and really tense with players like MaxSed. So
we've got a really interesting mix of people here at the tournament. A little bit of scouting coming in from MaxSed. Sees where the Chrono Boosts are going. The Mothership Core on the way for Sora.
Yeah, a little bit later for MaxSed, as you can see here. So Sora will have a little bit better scouting information, and we'll actually be able to use that Mothership Core to kind of poke if he wants to. With this Sentry, it speaks to me saying, I'm going to do a 1 gateway expand. I'm going to take a risk, and that's kind of scary in this matchup, but he can absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Second Sentry is on the way, as you see. I mean, this is very old-school Creator Prime style.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, the thing is, I feel like we really are seeing like a showcase of stylistic choices here by nation. I mean, Sora's playing a very Korean Protoss PvP, and MaxSed is playing a very Chinese version of PvP here.
That's well said. And the Nexus is going down here. This is a very greedy Nexus, and it will probably be canceled because there's an aggression coming out here by MaxSed.
Yeah,
he's already poking.
Yeah, 2 gates on the way. He's got that forward pylon. And actually, he's going to proxy a Stargate, too.
Yeah. And actually, after he sees the Nexus, instead of going Oracle, he has a lot of choices. He could even go a Void Ray out of that Stargate and do so much damage.
That's with 2 gates, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that Void Ray kind of power things up a little bit. We'll see.
I mean, against the build he faces here with very little anti-air, an Oracle could also be very good just to break the ramp, target down sentries.
Look at this. He's going to have to cancel eventually. Mothership Core coming into the base of MaxSed. This is going to be a little bit annoying to deal with.
Yeah, because he doesn't actually have any anti-air, so he's losing probes currently.
It's kind of a weird situation. It's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, he's actually going to lose a lot of probes.
He's got to run them away. I mean, that's just kind of how it has to be.
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now, as funny as it is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is he can always, pump a Phoenix out really quick out of a Stargate and send it back to deal with the Mothership Core, but I don't know, he's had to run all his probes out of the base. Finally, the cancel comes in from Sora, but look at this.
Finally, one Stalker comes in. The probes have been losing so much mining time.
Yeah.
He barely had enough for an Oracle.
6 probes already.
He actually could micro his probes so much better away from it, too. Okay, now he starts to do it.
Yeah.
Never want to be attacking gas probes if you can help it. There's the recall, but that means he doesn't have the cannon ability for when the Oracle arrives.
Ooh, another forward pylon down for Sora, though. And Sora's trying to fight fire with fire here, man. He's like, all right, fine, you're not going to let me 1 gate expand. Maybe I can slip something in the back here. We'll see. The Oracle coming in now. And
the Immortal.
Warp as well.
He's not a whole lot of anti-air here. He's just going to target down the sentries. Very nicely done.
Yep, doesn't want those forest fields. He's going to give that Oracle up. Doesn't quite get the second sentry. It was close.
This is not looking good for iGMacSed because suddenly now there's an Immortal out. There's a forward pylon that could be used for harassment. Also, the Warp Prism is going to be out soon as well. This is really nice for Sora.
Yeah, man, that lost mining time really hurt iGMacSed, actually. He's a bit behind in terms of where he needs to be aggression-wise, and with that Immortal out for Sora, I don't know if there's really a whole lot that iGMacSed can do to break him right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be possible. Unless he decided to try to switch into Void Race. That could be one way, but that's so expensive. His economy is not really at that place right now. If he made a Void Ray, it would basically be all in. He's been spotted, so is the Warp Prism, ironically, as it is.
Yeah. Huh.
So he knows at least one more Oracle is going his way.
Well, we'll see. Another Immortal on the way from Sora.
He wants to intercept that Warp Prism, something he needs to do.
Yeah, well, he's warping in a few Zealots at home, as we can see, to deal with that, but he's going to need a little bit more. Phoenix is coming out now from iGMacSed. It's going to be helpful in denying that Warp Prism and denying any more come out in the future.
Yeah, as long as he even has just one Phoenix, he should be fine against that.
Oh, yeah.
Oracle gets no kills, as far as I can tell.
Nope, no kills.
And
don't believe so.
You know, now it's a really comfortable position for Sora to take a Nexus. He doesn't have to counterattack or anything. He can just continue to harass with his Warp Prism and make a Nexus.
Well, you know, he did exactly what he needed to do. You know, he played safe enough. He did have to cancel that Nexus, but, you know, he wasn't really in any danger at any point of losing the game. And now he has this nice sort of counter pressure coming in to kind of distract iGMacSed, and he should be able to take another Nexus here soon.
I mean, just look at the units on the unit tab. We'll talk about that in a second after the Zealots kill some probes.
Yeah, and he's got to micro those. He's got to go after the probes. He's not quite doing it. Gets one out of that.
There's the Phoenix actually finally becoming useful, but
yeah.
Look at the unit tab. He has one Phoenix, one Sentry, one Oracle. Not the units you want to have. The two Immortals, a healthier Stalker count. That's all the things that he's up against, and his composition is just not good right now. He hasn't built anything. He doesn't have a Robo, even as far as I can tell.
Yeah, Sora's in really, really good, really good shape right now. And there's that second Nexus coming down. So Sora's just going to play it safe, you know, expand, got a few more sentries. He's going to be able to have that Guardian Shield, have those force fields to break up any fights, and he's got a strong push at this point. It's a little bit of a weird timing, but the way that things have kind of worked out, he's got this opportunity. So why not go for it? As long as he pushes safely, I think it's a great idea to go
Absolutely.
for it right now.
The Nexus isn't complete, so there's no overcharge.
Yep.
It will complete soon, though, so he's going to make this happen. This is a very small, weird timing window that he has. You're absolutely correct.
If he can just deny the Nexus, if he can do even that, it's going to be fine. I've got a feeling he's going to have to pull back. He can't quite fight army to army until the rest of the stuff gets there, but
he forces the overcharge and walks away. So forces he's actually going to try to trade these Stalkers.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here.
Yeah, really needs to be careful. He's being very aggressive, and actually now gets trapped.
Ooh. Well, the force field actually protects his Immortal from those Zealots, so counter force fields coming out from each player, and iGMacSed comes out a little bit behind in that one. Yep. Sora looked like he was, you know, a little bit of a tough spot for the moment, but he's got such a big lead at the moment army-wise that
I think this poke is just like,
this
poke to me feels like he's just saying, do you have any Immortals? He's like,
yeah,
no, you still don't have any, so I think I might actually be able to kill you after the overcharge is up. Because he killed the Mothership Port, he's like intentionally targeted and killed it. I think he's actually going to go for the kill once the overcharge is up.
I think so too, and I think he can. I mean, he was able to stay safe enough during that last push that he didn't really lose anything too important, kept his Immortals alive. And I mean, look at this, 11 Stalkers to 2, 6 Sentries to 3.
One Phoenix not going to be too useful either. He could try to lift the Immortal, and he does, but it doesn't matter.
Well, the Zealot's pretty marginalized by those force fields. Both players trying to split up the army as best they can, but Sora just with a huge amount. There's the Immortal trap now, and as soon as that goes down, that is it. I think Sora's got this game on lockdown.
Absolutely. Going to play a safe game against a Chinese player, things go a lot better. GG.
So you got to do. Yep, Sora took the lesson he learned in Game 1 to heart. Made it work for him in Game 2, and we have a tie series here.
And that's, I think, what everybody wants to see.
No, I know it's what I want to see.
Well, going into game number 3 here, and that game just did not go any of the ways that iGMacSed wanted it to. Sora just played a straight-up defensive game.
Yeah. Well, he did a really good job, too, of augmenting that defense with a little bit of counter offense. He didn't get a lot done with the Warp Prism, but it kept iGMacSed more defensive. It kept him at home. It allowed Sora to kind of get his economy going a little bit more. But really, a big part of that game was when iGMacSed lost those probes to the Mothership Core. That actually made a pretty big difference.
Yeah,
the lost mining time, the lost probes.
That was the turning point in the game for sure.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to take another break, guys. When we come back, game number 3 between Sora and iGMacSed here on WCG 2013. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back. And I guess we're back. Never mind. That's the exciting part about WCG. You just never know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Here we go. Derelict Watcher TE is the map for game number 3.
Yep. Derelict Watcher will be our final map for this series. Only one winner coming out of here.
Yep.
Although I suppose in MacSed's previous game there was no winner yet.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that one, because supposedly, I mean, MacSed's last series is still locked in a 1-0 or a 1-0 between him and Xenocider.
Yeah, I don't even know, 1-0 with a tie. That's what it is.
I mean, we've been casting, so we don't know if there's any updates beyond that, but the last we heard was that game 2 between MacSed and Xenocider was a tie, which it should have been. It was a tie. We casted ourselves. We saw it was a tie.
There were no anti-air units. There was a command center in the corner. One of those games, we missed it.
There's a little bit of confusion with the refs, it looked like, but they did eventually rule that a tie. So we'll see how they resolve that. But for now, we have to resolve this series, game 3 between Sora and MacSed. Let's get in the game as soon as we can.
Welcome to Game 3, WCG Grand Finals 2013 between Sora and MacSed. Sora is flying to the top right in red, and his opponent is to the bottom left.
That's right. We'll see him soon. Don't worry.
Yep.
The anticipation is building.
I'm feeling it. There he is. There's
Sora. Yep. And he's going to try to close out the series against our blue Protoss, MacSed from China.
Yeah, very close series. I feel like MacSed's aggressive strategy has been figured out now, though, and Sora is probably also going to fast expand in this game.
Yeah, I think so too. This is another one of those maps where, you know, you've got the option to be a little bit more aggressive, but you'll generally see things a bit safer. And after last game especially, I feel like Sora knows that if he plays a safe opening, he's going to have a pretty good chance to come away with the win, because as aggressive as MacSed is, I think in a longer game, most Korean Protosses are going to win a PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, if you don't have a lot of experience going to the late game, because you always play aggressively, then you can run into some problems when the other situation arises right in your face.
Very true. And it looks like we've got 13 gateways again from both players. Don't have the production tab up at the moment, but I believe I saw where both of those went down on the minimap at least.
Yeah, it seemed to be 13 for both. Definitely no rushed gateways.
Yep.
And we're going to see double gas from both players as well, so no sort of weird stuff coming out.
Yeah, against kind of a standard opening. Now, last game MacSed did go for 2 gateways, so he did change things up a little bit. Was a little bit more aggressive, tried to proxy that Stargate. So we'll see. I mean, he could go into a standard game from here, but then again, you know, we saw this opening turn into something rather cheesy in game number 2.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of people in this crowd, by the way, as you guys saw on screen just a second ago. It's awesome to see great crowds for esports.
Really big difference. I'm actually really surprised, because honestly, I mean, StarCraft II didn't seem terribly popular for the fans here at WCG last year, but that has obviously changed quite a bit.
And, you know, I think a lot of these fans, too, are probably here for the first time as their first StarCraft event, so that's got to be really exciting for them.
Yeah. It's been a good event so far. I'm sure it'll
continue
to be so.
Everybody remembers their first StarCraft event, you know, or their first esports event.
It's true.
We have a double gate here.
Mine was casting Code A.
Yeah. I had a few before that. I cast the Super Tournament as my first regular event that I did.
True. I guess I was at a LAN in St. Louis with Cat's Pajamas, a.k.a. Kevin Naki, right before I went to Korea.
Yeah. I met him at a LAN too.
Major events would be GSL for both of us actually.
I cast with JP McDaniel actually for an event once, very indie event.
Way back when.
Yeah, old days.
The good old days. That's right.
Well, now we're on the stage in front of a ton of Chinese people.
That's right. Now we're on like enemy companies too, so we have to fight after this. Wolf.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. We're all friends.
Oh, I wanted to
Don't
fight
worry.
you though.
Everybody in esports is just the best of friends with everybody. Well, we can still fight, but it'll be like, you know, to first blood or something like that.
Okay, or we could just 1v1 in Hearthstone.
Oh, I would win that easily. I mean, that's not even a contest.
Oh, you want? All right, I guess we're gonna have to 1v1 Hearthstone after this. The probe is set to follow the mothership core here, by the way. Okay, that was weird.
Wow, that's interesting. And we did see the second gateway coming out from MacSed as well. I mean, he is going to continue to be aggressive here, but will there be any sort of proxy buildings this time around? I feel like probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's just poking a little bit here. The mothership core allowing him to just neither player losing any real hit points on the Stalkers, only shields. That's a sign of a great micro.
The thing, though, is that Sora actually went for a really fast Twilight Council again and blinked.
Whoa! That Stalker was like even almost on the other side and he came back in.
Flutter, man. I don't know.
Whoa!
That was crazy, dude. Mothership core in a little bit of trouble, has to back off. Sora needs to be careful here. He is going to have some less units. Wow, nice force field again. He traps that single Stalker, and that's exactly what he needs to do. Has to keep that one alive.
I'm actually a little bit surprised MacSed even tried to go up there. Now he loses his mothership core and the Stalker and gains nothing.
Big error by MacSed, I believe.
He saw that there were more units on the top of the ramp.
He's trying to press the advantage that he has double the gateways, but the thing is that the force fields have been perfect from Sora.
Yeah.
Sora's control has been fantastic in this early part of the game.
Oh, he's actually continuing to warp in Stalkers here. This is the wrong choice because Blink is almost done.
And more gateways, too, from Sora.
Yeah, he's just going to follow some of the Blink Stalker push, and it's going to win the game for him.
Look at that.
He already has more Stalkers,
yeah.
and he gets some time warp here. The Blink may never even finish in this game. We may see a GG before that.
Yeah, MacSed's going to lose everything here, and he's going to be in big trouble. He knows it. A couple more Stalkers coming in. Sora needs to be a little bit careful here. Has to wait for that next round of warp-ins.
And the thing is, MacSed doesn't even know what he's up against. It could be anything. He hasn't even scouted it. Now he's going to come in here and see that there's more gateways, and he's going to, oh my god, it's Blink, and that's a lot of gateways. I need to get out of here so fast.
Yeah.
He needs to start a robo right now.
I think Blink did just finish, actually. No, it's not
quite ready.
Done. Yeah, it's got to be close. Yeah, seconds away.
He does have a robo at home, too, so he will have Immortals out, at least one.
Yeah, look at how well Sora's playing this, too. Not getting overly aggressive, not going too far down the ramp, just sticking around, waiting for his forces to build up. He knows that once Blink finishes, he's going to have an enormous advantage in this game.
And I think it is finished. He just hasn't shown it.
Oh, he's even got a forward pylon down. Wow. Yeah. MacSed, you are in big trouble, dude.
In a second.
Mac dead, yep.
But we'll see. First Immortal is on the way. There's the Blink reveal. And he already knew what he was up against when he saw that many gateways, but still he needs the Immortal out, and he needs it out right now. If he can get the second Immortal out, he will be fine, but the first one is not going to be enough.
First Blink comes down, and MacSed just getting chased. That one Stalker's like, hey guys, come on, fight me.
Oh, and he gets the force field down.
Oh,
he's trapped him outside of his own base.
Yep. That's going to be really, really good for Sora. A little bit of Blink back to keep the health alive. And MacSed, there's nothing he can do. Microing up the ramp, but only 2 Stalkers to the 9 of Sora. And that one Immortal's not going to make a difference. He's just going to focus it down, and that's going to be it.
That's going to be game.
GG time.
That was
Sora.
I have to say, I was a little bit disappointed with MacSed's play in Game 3. He just was way over-aggressive.
Well, I mean, it's like we talked about earlier. You know, sometimes these Chinese players, they can be aggressive. They are certainly talented, but it can be a bit one-dimensional. Some Zealots warped in, though. Sora losing a lot of probes at home.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to make enough of the difference, though.
Exactly, simply because the Stalker army is always going to be there, and it will come home eventually.
Exactly.
So, I mean, MacSed a good attempt here. I like the idea.
Well, the thing is, too, is now that Sora has his base on lockdown, as soon as he kills the pylon, he can just warp in a few Stalkers at home and just kind of finish off. He's got enough to warp in a few more units, I guess.
One more Stalker and another Zealot or 2 could easily be warped in.
He can also just recall after he kills the Nexus, too.
I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Nexus is gone and then a recall.
Yep. We'll see. He
unpowers every building first, I guess.
I think so. I think that's a safe way to go. And will he recall, or will he just sit at home?
Well, I mean, he can do whatever he wants now, basically.
Really, I mean, he's got a...
GG.
There it is, yeah, GG. And Sora takes it 2-1. Well played. I mean, he lost that first game, but then adapted, realized what he needed to do to beat MacSed, and it was... He made it look easy past that.
Yeah, he really did.
Clearly superior play coming out from Sora.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing, especially in Game 3 from MacSed. Not the same MacSed I saw last year, who was able to take so many big names down, like Marine King, like Younghwa.
I got to say, in PvP, MacSed unfortunately looking a little bit one-dimensional there.
Well, congratulations to Sora.
Yep.
And he's actually the favorite by many to win this whole thing.
That's right, yeah. And after that last match, I would not be surprised. I mean, if he can make adaptations like that in every other series, makes him a big threat. Friendly handshake between these guys. And that is going to be it for Wolf and I on the main stage here for StarCraft II for a little while, but keep in mind a lot of great games coming up on WCG. Yep. Again, of course, Coach Park, no doubt pretty pleased with the performance of Sora there.
Yep, and you're going to get an update in just a moment on what's coming up next. I will be commentating Street Fighter 4 on the